The 2026 elections are just around the corner, and the battle for control of the U.S. House is shaping up to be the first major test of Trump's second term in office, with tariffs tanking the stock market over the past week and Trump's approval rating slipping. Democrats are growing increasingly optimistic about their chances to flip the House. The Cook Political Report just released its initial ratings for the 2026 races, the first of the cycle, and there are already a lot of competitive contests on the map. 10 Democratic-held seats, many of which were carried by Donald Trump in 2024, are currently rated as toss-ups. On the Republican side, 8 races fall into the same category, but only one of those districts voted for Kamala Harris, Nebraska's second. Republican Congressman Don Bacon has narrowly held that seat since 2016, despite the fact that Democrats carried it in both the 2020 and 2024 presidential elections. Historically, midterms favor the party that doesn't hold the White House. In fact, as you can see in this chart, the president's party has lost seats in 18 of the last 20 midterm elections, including each of the last 4, with an average loss of about 25 seats. That's not exactly encouraging news for the Republican Party, especially when you consider that the only exceptions to the trend were driven by highly unusual circumstances. In 2002, it was the aftermath of 9/11, and in 1998, it was the public backlash to Bill Clinton's impeachment. All things considered, 9 times out of 10, the party out of power gained seats in the midterms. So, yes, Democrats have good reason to be optimistic about 2026, and it's not just because of history, it's also because of the math. Republicans are entering these midterms with one of the narrowest House majorities in modern history. And if we rewind to 2018, Trump's first midterm, Democrats needed a much larger wave to win control. And they got it, flipping 41 seats, their biggest midterm gain since the 1970s. In 2022, during Biden's first midterm, Republicans flipped the House as expected, but the red wave many had predicted never materialized. They gained just 9 seats, flipping the balance to 222 to 213 in their favor. Then came 2024, and once again, the House moved in the opposite direction of the presidential race. While Donald Trump defeated Kamala Harris, Democrats actually gained 2 House seats. That marked the smallest net change in House composition in U.S. history. And to make it even more remarkable, the majority was decided by just over 7,000 votes across 3 congressional districts out of nearly 148 million ballots cast nationwide. The map on your screen right now is based on the latest ratings from the Cook Political Report. According to their methodology, competitiveness is determined by a mix of factors, including the district's political makeup, candidate quality, the broader state and national environment, and interviews with candidates and campaign professionals. At this early stage, before we know exactly who's running in each race, these ratings rely heavily on the partisan lean of each district and the overall national mood. As it stands right now, the Cook Political Report gives both Republicans and Democrats an edge in exactly 202 seats each, with 16 districts labeled as pure toss-ups, essentially 50-50 coin flips. These toss-up races could go either way in a neutral political environment, while the 51 seats, rated as either lean or likely for one party, could also shift, especially if we see a wave election in either direction. There are also 15 districts in Ohio that currently remain unrated, as the state is set to redraw its congressional map ahead of the 2026 cycle. Now again, without enough information on candidate matchups or fundraising or polling data, these ratings are best understood through a broader national perspective. In a strong Democratic year, they should expect to win the bulk of toss-ups, and possibly flip a few lean or likely Republican seats along the way. That said, my own data-driven forecast paints a slightly different picture. Right now, I have Democrats narrowly ahead with 211 seats to the GOP's 200 and just 9 true toss-ups. Now, for the sake of argument, let's assign ratings to Ohio based on the 2024 House results, where Republicans won 10 of the 15 districts. Given that the new map will be drawn by a Republican-controlled state legislature, there's a good chance it's redrawn to help the GOP gain seats. Assuming a median outcome, say a 2-seat pickup, Let's flip the two most competitive districts, Ohio's 9th and 13th, in favor of Republicans. That adjustment narrows the gap down to just 2 seats, with Democrats at 214 and Republicans at 212. In this scenario, Democrats would need to win 4 of the remaining 9 toss-ups to flip the House majority. Taking a look at my spreadsheet here, right now, among the 9 districts, with a projected margin of less than a point in either direction, Democrats are in fact currently favored in exactly 4 of them. These projected margins come from a fundamentals-based model that combines multiple data points: incumbency, partisan lean, results from the 2024 House and presidential races, and district-level demographics. That baseline fundamentals score is then blended with race ratings from both the Cook Political Report and Inside Elections. Finally, we layer in the national environment, or generic ballot, which I currently have set at D+2. Now going back to the map, here's how things look if we remove the toss-ups entirely. Democrats would be projected to win 218 seats to Republicans 217, just enough to flip the House with the narrowest majority in American history. Again, though, that's assuming just a D+2 environment. Let's look at a scenario that's only slightly more favorable for Democrats. Back in 2018, they won the House popular vote by over 8 points. So if we bump the environment to a more modest D+4, just half of that 2018 advantage, Democrats would be projected to carry all 9 toss-ups plus New Jersey's 7th district, which is currently rated as tilt Republican. In that scenario, Democrats would secure a much more comfortable majority, 224 seats to the GOP's 211, and a D+4 environment is entirely realistic, especially if Trump's approval ratings continue to slide the way they did between 2016 and 2018, or as Biden's did from 2020 to 2022. That's good news for Democrats, particularly since their chances of flipping the Senate are much slimmer. If you want more on that, check out the video I uploaded yesterday. Looking ahead, I expect we'll see more election analysts and forecasts start to roll out their predictions over the next few months, along with a ramp-up in generic ballot polling. That'll give us a much clearer sense of where the national environment is heading as we approach next November. In the meantime, make sure to subscribe to the channel down below so you don't miss any upcoming videos on the 2026 midterms and everything beyond. As always, drop your thoughts on the map in the comments and let me know what topics you'd like to see covered next. Huge shout out to my channel members, listed down in the description. Don't forget to subscribe, leave a like if you enjoyed the content, and check out more of my videos right here. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. EP out.